I don't have my little eye junk, okay? But Sherlock Homeboy is on the case, all right? We got the Playboy model killed by unknown serial killer, okay? Unknown for we don't even know how long yet, but best believe after today, in the cuffs, okay? We're gonna figure it out, man. Make sure if you guys aren't here, you're here every day, baby, okay? BigTwitch.tv/JoeNoJoseph. And also, don't forget, I forgot to say it, original link down below. Let's get it.
Oh, shit. I know what you're gonna say. Carry your leg again. Sorry, mate. I was actually at a French dance floor. I got caught up in the little mystery over there.
Oh, what was the case?
It was a murder on the dance floor.
Nice. Just sending a letter to your mother.
Oh,
anyway.
Yo, what?
If you guys didn't already know, we are actually on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So if you do prefer just listening to us, maybe you're on a commute, you're driving to work, you're driving to uni, whatever it might be, or you just sat at home getting some work done, and you prefer to just listen to us and don't look at our ugly mugs, well, guess what, Chip?
Shut up, Jack. Shut the fuck up, okay?
Over on Spotify and Apple.
Oh, fantastic. And a bunch of other places as well, if you guys want to check those out. And today's case is pretty nuts.
To this day, mystery still surrounds the killings of Mayfair bunny girl Eve Stratford and Hounslow schoolgirl Lynn Whedon.
I was working in Zaire and I was told that my daughter had had an accident.
Eve had been found laying face down with her hands tied behind her back. Her throat had been slashed a number of times from ear to ear. Eve wasn't the only victim. The killer struck again just 6 months later. She was struck over the head with a heavy object, fracturing her skull. She died a week later.
Do dudes ever get murdered? Like, is there like a thing somewhere where like guys have been murdered before? I just don't like. Was there like a serial killer that was just like murdering a bunch of dudes? Is that a thing? I just feel like every time it's always like a bunch of chicks getting like murdered. Like, what is up with? Why are people so weird, bro? Oh my God! Did you say what about Switch? They all got FIFA on Switch? Oh my God! That would blow my mind. So Jack, I did pre-order one, right? I pre-ordered one, and then guess what happened? Guess what happened? GameStop went ahead and did. Guess what they did? Canceled the shit out of my order, dog. They just took it right out of the cart. They were just like, that's mine. And then I was like, wait, hold on, refresh. Let me go back and get that. Oh, we're sold out now. Oh, okay. Okay, we're sold out. Yeah, fuck me, huh? Yeah, fuck me. Yeah.
Now, the case that I actually have today does not involve
My mother. Thank you.
also Dan. It is the case of Eve Stratford, an English Playboy club bunny, and Lynn Whedon, a schoolgirl, who was...
Damn, it's crazy how like the differences are insane, but I bet you outside those glasses is a little fucking freak right here, bro. But they were both like, it's wild. Like if you would have put both of them together, I would have been like, there's no way both of them were Playboy models or whatever. Like I would have never believed it. I'd have been like, yo, this looks like a freaky teacher. You know what I mean? But I could definitely see her being like, this looks like exactly what I would think a Playboy bunny would look. You know what I mean? That's crazy. It's crazy. Respect the dead? Is it disrespectful to say that she was a freaky teacher? That's crazy. I don't think that's disrespectful. They're just speaking facts here.
Sexually assaulted.
Looks like Jack could pull. Bro, Jack couldn't pull
and it's all happened
a rope, okay?
years ago.
Now, both of these cases were actually on the complete opposite sides of London.
Crazy.
But when the case was reopened in 2004, new DNA techniques meant that we found out that both of these girls were murdered by the same person.
Ooh.
That means that this case is about an unidentified serial killer.
Wow.
Oh, let's go.
Eve Stratford.
Oh, let's go. We put somebody in jail today,
okay,
Jack.
She moved around
we
the world
put somebody in jail today.
But actually finally settled down in Hampshire. Now, in 1972, she moves in with her boyfriend in Leighton. She starts working as a bunny girl, cocktail waitress kind of thing at the Playboy Club in Park Lane, Mayfair. So you know
I can already imagine the
yeah,
vibe.
that's a bougie well, right
Yeah.
now it is. I don't 1972 it must
Park
have been
Lane
as well.
Mayfair always been a bougie spot, high end. You can imagine gentlemen there, whiskeys, very wealthy people. I imagine when you go there, high status people would be in that club.
Yeah, I've spotted you there a couple of times.
Not in 1975.
Not that club. Anyway, that was in 1973. In
Not 1975.
She actually did a shoot for another magazine called the Mayfair Magazine. Now, this is considered like a rival magazine. You ain't meant to be doing this, okay?
So she's a Playboy girl.
This is like being a United fan being caught in a city top.
Wow.
Yeah. So she's done that. She's been confronted by what I will refer to as the bunny mother. So this is like we'll call it the lady that's in charge of all the
bunnies.
Playboy bunnies,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is,
yeah.
you know, the girls that work for Playboy magazine.
Yeah.
She's been confronted, she's broken down into tears, and she said that the quotes were not her words, and the full frontal images were taken without her realizing.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that has happened. Maybe it has. Maybe that's true.
But that's not the mystery here. The mystery isn't how the full frontal pictures got out there.
Yeah.
It gets a little darker than
Yes,
that.
of course. Anyway, Rosemary did believe her, you know, the bunny mother.
Bro, they do not have FIFA on. You're telling me they got sports games on Switch now? When did that happen? Jesus.
The bunny mother is
did
called
believe her,
Rosemary.
yeah, and she did believe her story,
Yeah.
but she still suspended her, and it was during this suspension that Eve Stratford was murdered.
Eve was actually seen walking alone near her home at around 3:58 p.m. So quite a precise time, and that was on the 18th of March 1975. Her boyfriend comes home and sees her dead body later that day, right? And it is not a pretty
bro, finding a
sight
body
at all.
gotta be the
She
worst,
had
bro.
her throat slit multiple times. Not only that, but she was found partially unclothed, as well as a nylon stocking tied around one ankle, and her hands were bound by a scarf.
Oh my.
So the post-mortem, they examined her body, and they said that the cause of death was, in fact, obviously the multiple slits to the throat, very gruesome, and you know they weren't able to tell whether the sex that had taken place was consensual or not. So they were unsure about that, and they couldn't actually give a thing. Was this something way worse, and then the throat was slit, or did she actually have consensual sex with someone, and then they've done it, and then the person has done it afterwards? They weren't able to do that. But what's interesting?
How do you not, like, science was that bad back then? Like, I'm pretty sure they could have just probably put like a sponge or something in her vagina and figured that out, right? Could have got like some type of DNA or something, right? I'm so, like, she was like, bro, how many like, this is how my head goes, right? Like, this is how I know that people are just super messed up in the head. Because in my head, after like the first or second time that you're like slashing somebody, you know? Like, wouldn't it like click in? It's like, yo, hold on. You know what I mean? Nah, cause like, okay, I know like some of you guys are probably virgins, right? But like when you have sex, right, and you like come inside of a female, right? What happens is, imagine like she can actually like legitimately like push that semen like back out of her vagina. Does that make sense? Like it'll literally start like leaking back out of her vagina. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys or not, but that is a thing. So my idea, I'm trying to figure out how they couldn't figure out, because like she would still be wet. You know what I mean? Like not necessarily wet, but like there would be something going on with her vagina. Like for you to know that she just had sex, like there's got to be something, right? Like a surgery or something, right? Like, am I wild? I don't know. Maybe he pulled out. Oh shit, Crimpy, yo, y'all are wildin'. Y'all are wildin'. Okay. Discharge, yes, discharge, exactly. There would be discharge.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to
It was
bust.
actually a bouquet of bloody flowers next to her body.
Ooh, is that like an MO, like a you know, like a card kind
No,
of
it's
thing?
called
Is it
it's
that,
called
or
I
did
probably
she-
explained it wrong, but it's called discharge. Okay, okay. Let me call my mama. I bet you she gonna be.
Hey, bud.
Mama. Hey, you got a second?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm watching this video right now. All right, reacting to it basically, and it's like a murder mystery about like an old Playboy model or whatever. So I'm talking to the chat and I'm trying to explain something, and I think I explained it a little wrong, right? So like back in the day, 'cause
Lord
they
have
didn't have
mercy,
like
I'm about to
DNA tests and all that
bust.
kind of stuff, right?
Right.
But they would have been able to, we're talking about like female stuff right now, but they would have been able to know if like a female had like recently just had sex, because like wouldn't there be like discharge or something?
Yep. It'll be sperm still inside of it.
Exactly. Like now, wouldn't it like leak in a way? Like wouldn't it like come out of her?
And it takes approximately, I think, 3 days before it's all out, before the female body rid itself of the sperm.
Come on. All right. Thanks, Mom. You're the best. I love you.
All right, love you.
Bye-bye. Come on, bro. I'm telling y'all.
You know this person? What was she? Did she go on a date with this person?
Yeah, he's rocked up with flowers. They've obviously
She's been like,
participated
"Oh, it's
in
XYZ. Hi, come on
Yeah.
in." And then they've got into
a woohoo. They've done the woohoo.
Yeah, they've done a bit of something, and then after that, it's all gone
South?
poorly.
Yeah. On the day that she died, the police had figured out that she had visited Camden for lunch and then Bayswater to meet up with a publisher about some work.
Right.
Now they've found no signs.
Yo, it's so crazy because I swear I've seen this video. Oh my God. Do you guys watch PAQ? You know what I'm talking about? That was like the first like British thing I'd ever seen. Ever. And then all of a sudden, like I started getting recommended like Sidemen stuff and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, PAQ. This is where I've seen this before.
Meet up with a publisher about some work.
Right.
Now they've found no signs that she has been followed home at all. And at 4:30 p.m., the woman that actually lives below them heard a male and a female talking above and heard like a loud thump. Now, if you remember earlier, you spoke about 3:58 p.m. was the last time she was seen.
Yeah.
I guess that kind of lines up. 3:58 p.m. and then at 4:30 p.m. she was back in the flat.
Yeah, I think it's
because she wasn't near her home, right?
I definitely think she's let someone in that she knows, because like you said, if the neighbor is hearing someone just talking, then if a stranger's walked into your house, it would be more like screaming and shouting and all that. But it sounds like two people were talking, so it very well could have just been someone that they'd known, or she'd worked in this Playboy club. Is it a regular that she had seen there, sort of recognizing, maybe not necessarily friends, but someone that she had been around quite a few times?
Maybe,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe she's having an affair.
Yeah,
because it's the boyfriend that found her.
With the wealthy men as well, potentially.
See, this has always been my thing, bro. Like, if a female can hang around with wealthy guys, but then she still chooses to be with your dumbass, obviously she likes you. So I don't believe that theory on like it being another guy, but I would definitely believe that the husband got jealous, because like a lot of like broke niggas get jealous when they see that they're like, whenever you have a girl, bro, and then like all of a sudden she's starting to like surpass you. I feel like that's anybody. You don't even got to be broke. It's just anybody. You would start to feel some type of way if she starts to like go a different route or starts to excel a little higher than you, like just as a man. You know what I mean? Like as a man, you're in the spot as like the provider. So when a lot of people aren't okay with like the female being the one in charge, I guess, if that makes sense, you know?
That were in those clubs.
Yep.
She's having an affair with a wealthy man from there. He's come over, didn't want things to get found out, done what he's done. Come with some flowers. It's all a bit. Anyways, let's continue. To further my point about them knowing each other, there was no signs of a forced entry into this house. So again, she's opened the door.
Chad, I'm sitting here explaining to my mom how I was telling you guys about how she would actually answer that question. Look at what she just, hold on. Okay, anyway, this is what she said. She said, oh, for sure. We talk about when you've stuck your penis in stanky coochie and everything. I could not get that shit to unblur. Jesus, that was horrible.
potentially let this guy in as well. And yeah, there was no forced entry. Now, the person in charge, the detective on this case, who goes by the name John Mfadzine. Tough one to pronounce. You're gonna have to spare me.
Let it slide.
He said it was the biggest murder squad and the longest inquiry he ever conducted.
Leave all this in the vid.
Not only that,
You know I am.
but from there was 3 men who came forward and confessed
To the murder.
to the murder. They said it was me. But all 3 of those men weren't telling the truth. They were capping. Now, we spoke about this when we went over the case the first time. What is
That
with
is
people
really
confessing to murders they didn't do?
strange.
Why would
Yeah.
you want to claim a murder like that?
Some
They were
people just want to catch
easily
a body.
proven
He was probably
false
trying to be a
claims.
rapper, chat.
Yeah. Well,
What-
one
what
of
is the
one
benefit
of the
of-
people that confessed said that he strangled her, but obviously the cause of death was via the slit throat. So that's just one way of proving.
Oh, chat. Easier. Another way. She said, tell them to think about Monica Lewinsky and President Clinton. Sperm was found on her dress months later to prove they had sexual relations. Boom, boom, boom.
That you didn't
Yeah,
actually,
he didn't do
do
it.
it because you don't even know the cause of death.
Yeah.
But why would you come forward and be like, you know what,
I did that?
that was me, even though it's not you?
Yeah, like there's nothing to really gain from it, at least as far as
It's
I'm
like
aware. You don't
prison.
get fucking
Yeah.
bonus points for killing someone.
You'd be getting prison time.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, you would get a whole rap
Anyways,
career.
That was that out the window, and to this day they haven't found the person that killed Eve Stratford. Now, Chip, I know you were desperate to get to that Playboy club, but unfortunately it closed 27 years ago now.
Financial misconduct.
Eve's mother has passed away, and her older brother actually died as an alcoholic at the age of 50.
6 months later, after everything's gone down, we've got Lynn Whedon. She was a 16-year-old girl. This all happened on the 3rd of September. Now she's
Bro, she
walking
was
home
16?
at night, and it's dark.
Yo, what is up with you guys in walking home by yourselves? I've realized in a lot of these videos, bro, even like following certain people on Instagram, I be seeing all like, who was it? It was like Bambino, Becky, and G. We're like walking down, like I know all the streets of the UK look like alleys and just look like they're like literally look deserted. But bro, them two, okay, looking fine as ever, are just walking down the street at like 2 a.m., dog. Just by themselves. By them, like how is that okay? I just don't understand. The street was literally like completely empty. Like there wasn't even cars coming down. I just don't understand it. Like, bro, you would never ever catch somebody in America walking back from a bar like that, especially not a female, and not like in like a bar attire. Like, bro, that would never happen. Never. Now, okay, cap. Colleges, like on college campus, but what? Think about the climate, bro. No way would that happen. Like, I couldn't even imagine a female being okay walking. I don't know any females like right now that are just okay walking around outside by themselves. I don't even know any females that get gas at night, bro. Like, so it's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, we're talking a dark pathway here, and she is hit over the head with a blunt object by an unknown perpetrator and sexually assaulted.
You guys don't have gas?
Now, this all actually happened near her home in Hounslow, and she was found the next morning by a local school caretaker, and she was actually still alive, just with serious injuries. Now, unfortunately, a week later, 10th of September 1975, she did die in
Wait a second. Time out, chat. Y'all don't have gas?
Middlesex Hospital, and she didn't regain consciousness, so nobody could get any details out of her, I'm assuming there.
Yeah. It's
Driver
the
shortage.
reason why,
Damn. So that's why nobody's driving. Okay, that makes sense.
Why we've got these.
But
two
why are they
cases
walking
in one
alone?
is that, like we said at the beginning, it turns out that these two were linked together by DNA and new DNA technology. So in 2004, Lynn's case was actually reopened, and in 2007, because of the new technology, it showed that both murders were committed by the same person. Now, these two places, if you are from London, you'll know that Hounslow is far west, and Leighton is pretty far east, to be honest. Like, we're not even talking like central London at all. We're talking pretty out in the sticks.
Yeah.
What this means, Chip, is that there has been a serial killer with at least 2 definite victims that we know of.
It's so crazy because like until I started like getting into all this like UK stuff, every time I heard London, I always thought of like London as like LA. You know, like when I hear London, I don't think of like a whole city, right? I think of like one area. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Crazy.
That has been roaming around London. Maybe they've moved now for 40 years. Okay, there's 2 killings, both DNA matched, but there's no record of them on the DNA database. They can't find who this person is. Now,
serial killer at large. Probably
that's normal.
Not now,
okay.
but still, you know what?
He
Still
could be alive.
Still could be alive. 8 years old.
We putting him in jail today.
yeah, well, they say he could be between the ages of 60 to 70. That is sort of the
Probably at home eating rice pudding,
yeah,
enjoying himself or herself. You know, well, it's himself, right?
yeah, himself. Yeah, we're pretty sure this is a guy.
You never know, man.
You never.
This is
you're
2021,
right.
man.
You're
Watch
absolutely
yourself.
right. We can't rule these other cases out.
Yeah.
Suspects out.
Suspects. Yeah.
Eve Stratford and her boyfriend, along with 52 other men, have been eliminated.
50. They went through
sampling.
52 dudes.
And they've actually gone as far to say they've offered up a reward of £40,000.
Damn.
To anybody that can give them information.
Damn, her parents got some bread, huh?
Identification, arrest, and
40 racks?
of the person responsible for these 2 horrific crimes. Yeah, 40,000. Look, £40,000. You'd think that would be enough, but the problem is it's been a long time since 1975, so I feel like any information now will have already come out unless we get another, and I'm not going to get into it unless we get another deathbed confession, Chip.
Which is what I
can't bear to stand
I love
one
them.
of those. But,
I love them.
yeah, they do.
That's the best way to die, bro. Best way to die is just to go out and admit to some shit.
This person could very well still be alive, which is really scary. They could be watching this video or listening to this podcast right now.
And they might come for us next.
Oh. Well, we don't necessarily fit their target, but it's kind of weird.
They might want to silence us.
You're absolutely right, but it'll be too late because this podcast will already be out. And look, if anybody does have any information on this, maybe, in true crime, we tend to get an older audience as well.
You can get yourself £40,000
for some information.
What is wrong with
That's a new
Jack,
Porsche.
bro? What is wrong with this
It's not a
nigga?
new Porsche, but it is a Porsche.
It depends on what Porsche, but it could be. We need to talk about some suspects and a possible motive. Now, the killer most likely knew Eve Stratford, okay? But Lynn, that was an opportunistic crime.
Oh, dude.
Possibly, anyway, because that's one of them's a glamour girl, Playboy glamour girl, and the other is a schoolgirl. One's been killed near her home, the other's been taken straight off the street.
Yeah, that's the thing. Usually, I feel with a serial killer, there's a very obvious pattern, or they do
it the same way. I guess that's the same thing.
Really
Pattern does mean similar. Okay, my bad.
Besides the DNA, that's the only thing that ties them together.
Ties them together.
They're both ladies, they live on different parts of London.
It just, there's not that many connecting dots. It's probably why this is still unsolved as well.
D.I. Weatherhill said it was very possible that the killer had been incited by the magazine because the magazine had actually sold more than 450,000 copies. That is a lot.
That's to be circulating that many. So
yeah, there was no internet back then. So if you wanted to get a little bit of that,
see a bit of full frontal,
you needed to go to Playboy magazine.
Well, no, this was Mayfair magazine.
Oh,
well, you could probably get it for both.
Yo, that's so crazy to think about, bro. Back in the day, people were like going out, like you had to go to the store and plan to beat off. Like you had to legitimately like put it in your day to be like, hey, I'm gonna go grab something crazy for tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? That's so crazy. Now I just wake up like, huh, why not?
I don't know. Either or.
Yeah, and that leans on the theory that was it a creepy guy? I mean, look, the guy's obviously very clearly twisted, whatever, we know that.
Yeah.
But did this guy do this because he's seen her in the magazine, started stalking her, maybe started going to that Playboy club, saw her there, became, just like a creepy, infatuated with her, and from there, then walked up to her house. She recognizes him. Oh, I've seen you in the club recently quite a bit. You'd be maybe paying me a bit more attention. He's turned up with flowers. She says, I don't want the flowers, thank you though, I have a boyfriend. Then
gets hit over the head?
There,
nah.
That's not a bad theory.
That
Not a
is
bad
what
shout.
I'm leaning
But
towards with the Eve case. Unfortunately, with the Lynn one, I'm still a bit bamboozled.
I
I
don't
don't
know,
really
yeah.
know. But we'll go into it a little bit more. We'll stick on this Eve case and go through a few other things that people have sort of
Yeah,
magazine
I laughed so hard I just farted. It was crazy.
that we spoke about.
So gotta cut that out the video.
The Rival magazine
Yes.
that Eve went and sort of worked with. The editor of that was called David Brenner. Now, he wrote
Adam looks about 15 to be fair.
alongside all the photos, and they were kind of controversial. They were pretty
He said, I'll
graphic
take it.
text, if that makes sense, and a lot of stuff that he wrote there wasn't necessarily true either. But they wanted to portray her with a certain image.
Yeah.
And so that's what he did. And a lot of people actually blame David Brenner's writing and text as one of the
Like he
reasons
provoked
why
it.
Eve might have been killed.
What?
Because back then, like I said, a lot of the stuff was a little bit more controversial than what you'd be used to hearing. In fact, David Brenner was claimed that he never actually met Eve, and the interview just happened over the phone. And the police really struggled to believe that. They couldn't really understand the fact that this interview had just happened over the phone. You got to remember, it is 1975. Back, especially nowadays, that would be so normal. But back then, maybe not so much. And the police weren't
1975?
really buying it too much, and they were a little bit suspicious.
Aren't they still using like telegraphs and shit back then?
Now, the photographer.
Nah, niggas had phones in it. That was when they had the first like little windy phone
the
things.
text that David had written.
Where you like put your hand in the
as
circle and it's
one
like,
of the reasons for Eve's death.
Yeah.
But both the photographer and the editor were eliminated as suspects through the DNA sampling. So they're clear.
Ruled out. Now we've got another suspect here. His name is Abdul Khawaja, and they nicknamed him Little Abdul.
Lil
Not the
Abdul.
rapper's name, but it is what it is. He was a well-known member of this Playboy club anyway, you know, Park Lane Mayfair. He obviously goes there a
What
lot.
pimp shit they talking about?
Attendee.
I like that. I like that a lot. Anyways, he was a strong suspect in 1975. Now, he and Eve never formally dated. Now, I don't know if they had a little hush-hush going on or whatever. Who knows?
Formally,
No.
didn't date.
Now, he did like socializing with Eve and the other bunnies, though, so maybe they were friends or whatever. And some of the other bunnies claimed that once Eve had died, that he was really upset, crying, all that kind of stuff. Devastated. And he complained that he was being hounded by the police. So the police obviously thought, Abdul, little Abdul, you're on our list. You're a little bit dodgy.
Yeah.
Something's going on here, and we like you for it. Anyway, he actually died a couple of years ago, but the police went and took DNA from his son, and that DNA cleared Abdul of any suspicion because it obviously didn't match up with the DNA that they found on Eve.
Yeah,
So-
or well, both of the bodies.
Well,
really.
both, yeah, it didn't match.
So, yeah, that because
I would be. I feel like that. Like, I wonder how long he had to go through some bullshit, bro, before they were like, all right, let's just get your DNA and figure it out. Because I always wonder that. Like, do they just call you and say, hey, we just need a sample? Like, do they say, hey, ask where you been, all that shit, or do they just go, hey, let me get a sample? God, I wonder how that goes, dude.
Do you remember the theory that I spoke about earlier about it being someone that maybe started?
Do they try to
growing
get you to admit
Yeah.
it first?
Maybe
You know?
it wasn't Abdul.
But it could have been,
Could have been someone else.
I'm pretty sure Abdul would not have been the only man at the Playboy Club who's
certainly
friendly with Eve
Yeah.
or talked to her, that kind of
Probably
stuff.
need a warrant.
So
Mm.
maybe they had the right idea, but the wrong
Damn,
man.
duh.
Another thing that we
Yeah.
have to point out is that this person
Okay.
has committed two horrible crimes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but usually what would happen off the back of that is that they would do it again. Why stop
Yeah.
at two? Why only two?
Is it possible that the murderer, after the second, thought that the police were getting a little bit too close to him? Maybe when they started hounding Abdul, he was
Yeah.
somebody that was familiar with Abdul, saw that and was like, I need to step off the gas.
but
Nah.
this is obviously someone that has a cake for okay, maybe
I always feel like the pain in Joe's face when he realized Alton is right. No, dead ass. I was trying so hard to figure it out. I was trying so hard to prove it like he wasn't. But what gets me about this, bro, is like in my eyes, I don't think that like after the second or third time after you messed up or whatever, I don't understand why it's like a thought in their head that he should have there should have been another body that obviously got pointed towards these ones. You know what I mean? Like in my eyes, I would be like, yo, if we didn't get him after the first two, like there's no way he's getting caught again. There's no way we're just gonna have a whole nother, have more DNA. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be easy to put it together. Like, I still don't understand how serial killers get caught, honestly. I'm still trying to figure it out. I don't get it. Besides, like, leaving evidence and stuff behind, I've never understood it. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
He steps off the gas for a year, 2 years, 3 years.
You would still think he strikes.
Who's
to say he hasn't?
It's true. That yeah.
Maybe he got. So obviously he's managed to get away with these 2 killings, right?
That we know of.
Yeah, but unfortunately for him, he did leave some DNA behind.
Yeah.
Maybe from that point onwards, he was like, right, I'm gonna go full Dexter on these motherfuckers.
Come on, that's what I just said. Come on, Chip.
It's true. No, you're right, and I would believe that, to be honest with you. I think that there are probably more victims out there.
Yeah.
I struggle to believe that he would just leave it at 2. I think there are more out there. So that's where we're at. I still think my theory about it being someone that was sort of obsessed with Eve, things like that. But unfortunately, the Lynn Whedon case,
I feel like
the
she's
schoolgirl,
just
is so random. It doesn't. There's
wrong
really
place,
no
wrong time,
info.
you know.
Yeah, maybe
That's
it was just,
real.
And it wasn't as gruesome.
If it was opportunistic, then
Yeah, if I'm right, the first girl was the one that got slashed like 10 times in the neck, right? It wasn't the second one?
surely he's done it more times. So we don't know. Anyways, guys, that is this case. We'd love to read your guys' theories and what you think about this case. Do you know any other bits of information that we don't know? Please do leave it in the comments.
Yes, let us know.
Of course, if you are on a commute, you can't sit and watch the YouTube video. We are on audio platforms as well. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify. Deezer.
We're actually, as it stands, well, I don't know if it as it stands right now, but we are the #1 true crime podcast on Spotify.
Let's
Phenomenal
go,
work, guys.
baby.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, seriously, really appreciate that. And if you would be so kind as well to leave us a 5-star rating over on the Apple Podcast site. And,
Helps a lot.
Hey, y'all better take y'all whole asses over there and give them a #1 rating ASAP, okay? Make sure you put in the rating that JoeNoJoseph sent you, all right? I'm gonna let y'all know straight up, we already know who did it. Okay? It was obviously a tag team thing, okay? I think Abdul and somebody else he was working with did it. No cap. Because it seems like the trail went cold as soon as they started to question Abdul. I don't know how that makes sense, okay? So that's what we're going with. If you have any disputable facts, put them down below in the comment section, okay? I love you guys so much. Again, thank you for that appearance by my mom. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Big peace.